People living in competition. What's going on, Jerome's beautiful, what day is it? Wednesday? Who really knows? It is snowing. Birds are indeed not chirping unless you count the crows. Counting crows. So tell me. Wait, that's train. Whatever. Anyways, it's beautiful Wednesday. Happy hump day to those who celebrate. You may be stuck at home today. You may be working from home. So happy hump day. Yeah. Anyways, time for a Vikings news dump. So Jonathan James McCarthy is the story of the Vikings this season. Quarterback one, been getting it done sometimes, other times not so much. But of course, the commies game where talk about simplifying the offense, blah, 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 whatever that means. But McCarthy just going back there, slinging it. Results were good. Frankly, had his best statistical game of his young NFL career. And there's a lot of positives to build off of. Right. And Kevin O'Connell, talked about everything that came with the game plan for last Sunday. He was on with his podcast with Paul Allen, 9 to noon. The whole game plan was about stacking positive plays, and a positive play could be a lot of different things. And we were able to do that as an offense all day long. O'Connell, talked about Kevin Seifert, ESPN, who's not Carl Gershon. J.J. McCarthy would tell coaches that he anticipates specific defensive players doing. O'Connell, stop, just quiet your mind and let's not overthink anything other than what is my job on the play. So it seemed like O'Connell probably putting a little bit too much on his plate, but J.J. McCarthy probably doing the same thing. And we've said this before. For someone who meditates as much as he does, J.J. McCarthy is kind of high-strung, right? Kind of spastic, right? And leading into that is the whole 999 thing. Bucks fan page, same interview. O'Connell touches on J.J. McCarthy's alter ego 9. You better have confidence and you better have a comfort in who you are to be in certain roles. All I've asked JJ to do is just be authentically himself. So the thing about the whole 9 thing is it doesn't seem fake. It actually seems like him. Now, when you win, I mean, that's perfectly fine. But when you lose, you're going to get ridiculed and you're going to get memed. Right? And also, I bet you Tom Brady, I bet you Peyton Manning, I bet you, well, maybe not Montana, maybe Steve Young, had alter egos. All right, maybe they didn't have a name, but they just had a mode. They call it in the zone. Call it game face. And also, speaking of game face, if McCarthy does any more face black, it may become blackface. So we may need to have a conversation about that. Just, I don't know, man. Also, we never talked about it. Bo Richter's got like the same design going on. I don't know. Anyways, but the whole 9 thing, I mean, it's cool when you win. All right. And I love the intensity because, again, is JJ being authentically himself? Yes. Yes. And I would rather have a stallion that you need to break and calm down rather than, I don't know horses. I don't know horses. I'm sure that there's something about like a dead fish horse that just goes around to like county fairs and like kids have pony rides for $2, something like that. Actually, it's probably $5 nowadays. Yeah. Also, so I think we might have a recession coming because my kids drink orange juice. They drink milk. Yeah, milk is like $6 a gallon. Orange juice is $8 a gallon. When I was a kid, back in the day, wasn't it 99 cents? Now, of course, yes, inflation over time, but my God, my God. Also, I mean, the economy's tough. We might have to go back to drinking Sunny D, right? I love those commercials, man. They're really good. Also, as a kid, I had no idea it wasn't real orange juice. Also did not care. Yeah. Also, talk about Vikings fan page. Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy registered a career best 4.3% off target rate on Sunday and logged his first turnover-free game of the NFL. Again, some of the games recently have been really bad. Again, the high highs have been great, but the low lows. So this is good, and this is what we want for the rest of the year. We just want progress. That's exactly what we're doing in this spot. So if he can do that the rest of the way, I mean, that's all that we're looking for. Now, it would be great if he's stunning and it gives you a whole heap of confidence heading into the offseason and into 2026. But just incremental, stacking up good days. Will there be backslides? Sure. Will he throw? I love the people that are like, oh, it was just one game. It was just a commander, blah, blah, blah. But the second that McCarthy throws an interception, be like, aha, bust. Bring on Mendoza. Yeah. Also, something to bring on is the annual December drive. All Venmos, Cash App, Super Chats in December go towards Toys-for-Tots and Salvation Army Twin Cities. $3K goal for the month. Currently racked up and stacked up about $700. Had some really good donations and through the Venmo. Donation links in video description below. Also, you can donate directly to Toys-for-Tots, Salvation Army Twin Cities. If you do that, email producer Allie, ftw@gmail.com to include you in the total. Also, personalized video for the holidays. Just finished up one for Matthew and company. It was awesome. All right, so basically just 5-10 minutes talking. Well, it says 5. It's usually 10. All right, just talking junk, and it's great for the holidays, great for birthdays, great for everything, man. That's what we do. $50K if you want one of my kidneys. AB negative. It's pretty good. ZJ, if you got to ask, can't afford it. Also, email producer Allie@gmail.com. Also, we did that one. Also, Jalen Redmond. Yeah, man. Jalen Redmond has been fantastic this season. He's one of the emerging stars on this team, and he's going to be exclusive rights free agent. So basically, he's going to be under control of the Vikings. So give him a little cash. The UDFA out of Oklahoma, former XFL superstar, been getting it done. 73.4 PFF grade, leads the defensive team as far as qualifying snaps go. 30 pressures, 5.5 sacks, tied for the team lead with Diamond Dallas Turner, who's also emerging as a stud. 10 tackles for loss, 3 passes broken up, forced fumble recovery, partridge in a pear tree, and also 28 solo tackles is a lot for a defensive interior. All right, so usually, inside it's a lot of assisted tackles, a lot of gang tackles, but just making plays on your own, it's really damn good. So 6-1 is getting it done. He's got my vote, man. Hopefully makes a Pro Bowl. Hopefully gets paid by the Vikings, and they need to retain him a long time. Also, speaking of retaining, Brian O'Neill, who's out of contract after next season, should be extended. Take care of that cap hit as well. But Vikings, Brian O'Neill has been named one of 8 semifinalists for the 2025 Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award. So I'm guessing that Jamar Chase did not get nominated for the spittoon. But the finalists, or semifinalists, whatever. DeForest Buckner of the Colts, fortunately been injured. Actually, a lot of injuries on the Colts. Harrison Phillips, our guy with the Jets. Zach Seiler of the Dolphins. Kyle Van Noy. So there's a book I'm listening to. I forget what it's called. It might be The System or something like that. It's about college football. Talk about Van Noy's time at BYU. He was teammates, roommates, and best friends with Ziggy Ansah. You remember, Ziggy Ansah, drafted high by the Lions. Physical freak, but literally did not know how to play football at BYU. It's kind of a cool story. Bronco Mendenhall was in there. Buda Baker. I love Buda, man. He's fantastic. Levante David of the Bucks. Demario Davis of the Saints. Levante and Demario, 2 of the more underrated linebackers of the last 10 years. Just really good, man. Also, Brian, the real deal, O'Neill. So I feel like O'Neill should win. That's really the extent of my case. Brian O'Neill should win because he seems like a good dude. Also, he went to high school with Dante DiVincenzo. Should have taught him how to shoot better. Anyways. Also, Harrison Smith. So year 14 is wrapping up. 4 games to go. Plus playoffs. Come on, play up. And this is probably it for Harrison. And you wonder what Harrison's going to do afterwards. Plus, there was other players that didn't take pay cuts to stay here. I understand it's a business. But Harrison took several pay cuts to remain a Viking. He did not force him being cut or waived when the Vikings weren't doing so good. Finishing out his career. And made a big time play against the Commies, made a couple big time plays, so it's good to see. But Harrison, a lot of foreign players get into broadcasting, and Harrison is obviously very intelligent, articulate, but he doesn't talk really much. Like his post game comments were like the most words that we've heard him say all year. But I think Harrison will be fine on that. Or, put slapping the headset on, slapping the bass. Assistant DB coach to start, working his way up. Maybe player coach, something like that. I don't know. But either way, like Harrison, the way that he talks about the game, the way that Flores and all of his teammates just rave about his football knowledge and intelligence. And, is he the same player as he was back in the day? Obviously not. But his knowledge of communication, what the offenses are doing, and just being in the right spot at the right time. Just the body just is a half step slow. I mean, that knowledge is important, and that's knowledge that he can pass on, that he's been passing on to the rest of that DB room. And I wouldn't mind if he got in the coaching. Hell, Marcus Freeman gets an NFL job, and then Harrison Smith takes over in South Bend. We'll see. Also, there we go. So people have commented a little bit, like, how come we're not talking about hyping up Will the Thrill Reichard? It's a little bit of Voldemort or Macbeth, you know? The second that we do a video, Will Reichard should be in the Pro Bowl. You know, Will the Thrilling. And we've done that before, but it just feels like that would jinx him. I don't know. Where I'm glad he's doing what he's doing. Yes, he should be a Pro Bowler. Frankly, he should be all pro. But given the Vikings' history with kickers, I don't know, man. I don't know. Gary Anderson has missed a kick in 2 years. Unbelievable. Yeah. So Will Thrill and his wife and a bunch of other Vikings and significant others were doing a Croquembouche. Making a Croquembouche with the records. So I have no idea what it is. So I cook a lot. I do not bake, right? That's I'm just lost in this. But basically, Will Thrill's wife kicked him out. Said, "You do the florals. I'll stack up the donuts." It looks like, it looks like a tower of donut holes, doesn't it? I'm sure that it's like fancy and French donut holes. So think about the French. They don't shower, and they smoke cigarettes constantly, and they're constantly drinking wine, and they take 3-hour lunches, and they take naps, and they're okay. I kind of want to be French, anyways. But every French person I imagine has like the long cigarette holder, just like, and also the way that they pronounce proper pronunciation is croissant. I have to say it's Southern croissant. Because you get the best croissant rolls from Pillsbury from the can, from Poppin' Fresh, right? But they say croissant. Come on, man. But again, it looks like a donut hole tower, like in glaze. But I mean, it looks pretty good, right? So Magnolia, Chip and Joanna Gaines. So here's what's weird too. So my wife and I, when we go on road trips, we like going to college towns and seeing like the football stadiums, like walk around campus, walk around the football stadium. It's kind of cool. So in Waco, I'm sure that there's very nice and awesome people in Waco, but we went to the Magnolia Farms, and it was in a not very solid neighborhood. You know what I mean? And basically, it was very rough and tumble, pretty industrial, and then there was the stadium. Stadium was a cathedral, man. Looked really good. Basketball arena was good too. They just won the national title when we were there. So there you go. And also, really good barbecue, really good tacos, and also a cool zoo. That's it. Anyways, but I mean, Magnolia signed off on it. Must be good, right? So there you go. And also, that is why we do not talk about Will Thrill. Like, we will talk about Will Thrill's towers. That's it. That's it, man. Anyways, beautiful, happy Wednesday out there to everyone, everywhere. You guys are the absolute best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.